Well, good day, greetings, grand rising, and welcome to you all. Welcome our Peak Wellness Hour family. We're so excited to be here with you on another Saturday. So grateful. We're going to jump into a conversation here shortly about it is what National Family Civility Day. So I put the civility in parentheses because we're going to dive into all kinds of aspects of family and family values, but this article you can find in the link for nationaltoday.com, all kinds of amazing articles about national holidays daily. Some that are relevant to us, some are not. So make sure you all check that out. Grab a pen and paper. You know we want you to like and share. And if you've not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. And we'll be right back.
Awesome.
All right. How is everyone doing today? How are you all doing, family? Go ahead and hit that like button if you've not. Again, share with somebody because we're going to have a great conversation today. I am your co-host, Angelina, aka Queen G, genuinely and genuine intellectual empowerment, along here with Professor, Pastor, Counselor, Queen Edith, CEO and founder of Peak Wellness, or excuse me, Peak Home Care Associates here in Noblesville, Indiana. And we are grateful, like we said, as always, to come with you, come together with you every Saturday and dive into fun conversations and topics. So we want to encourage you and invite you to comment in the comment section. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even if you have a difference of opinion, if you got some insight that we might not be aware of, do that with us. Let's engage because we do want to be connected here. We want to network and we want this to be a safe family space. So make sure you do that. One other thing, if you are on Facebook watching, do me a favor. At the bottom on Facebook, you'll see those hearts and the little um, thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that as many times as you can. That'll help us get the algorithm going. So if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you do that. Make sure you're subscribed to us on Facebook. And go ahead and hit that like button on YouTube. And please subscribe there as well on the Peak Wellness Hour channel. Queen.
Hello, friends and family. Of course, our dear faithful fans, followers, and friends. There is no foe in our midst. There's definitely no foe in our midst. I have a question for you. When you hear family, what first comes up? When you hear family, what first comes to mind? Okay. Well, I have options here: joy, stress, grief, hope. Oneness, love, affection. What comes to mind, and who comes to mind when you first hear family? Like Queen said, today is the National Family Day, and we are choosing to talk about the value of family. It's the holiday season. You've been working so hard. Maybe you've not been there for your children as much as you'd like to, for your spouse as much as you'd love to. What are the plans? What are your plans for the holidays with family, including grandma and grandpa? You know I have to go there, right? Okay. So, whether your family, I mean, I don't know whether your family is biological, means you're the parents who birthed you, on and on and on. Your brothers birthed from the same parents, or is the family you've made, like Queen G has become the family I have come to know in the state of Indiana. Okay, whether they are biological, blended, chosen, or recovery community, what is your family? Who is your family? Who is family to you? I want to see your comments, and we're going to take it from there, Queen.
You know, that's interesting. You when you asked the question and you gave some examples of what that may look like to different individuals. You said joy. You said one other one, and then you said stress. And I'm curious to know if anyone out there, if your first initial thought overall to family is stress, what's going on with that? If the first initial issue is stress, when you think about family as a whole, we'll break that down later. Okay. But I think for me, I'm going to answer the question. For me, family is tribal. It's community, you know, and it can look like different things. Like Queen have said, it could look like, blood. It could look like adoption or fostering. It could like family, or excuse me, like friendship, co-workers. Just different things. As growing up here, I think we've all heard this, but that's my cousin, that's my sister, and there's no blood relation. We've just grown up together. We've grown up since third grade, so we're
Yes,
sisters,
yes.
we're cousins. But it represents the closeness outside of just being a friend when people express those kind of things. So yes, I definitely think it's about tribe. It's about foundation in culture, and I'm not talking about ethnicity, as far as a mindset, a collective mindset. And that's when I ask about stress. What's the collective mindset of your family? If I say, no, here comes the family reunion every year. No, I'm not going because every time we go, there's always an issue. There's always some drama. What's happening in that structure, the cultural structure, the cultural foundation, where that is the atmosphere and the environment and the mindset. So it's very important that we look at that and not just beyond our immediate family, because it looks like different things. Queen?
You remember I said blended.
Mm-hmm.
I said chosen. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you there's a family you get to choose. There's biological, right? So yeah, what does it look like to you? And it could be community, like we said, your work community, who has become your family, a number of friends you come together. So yeah, what does family look like to you? But Queen, what is family? What if we defining family broadly? What is it? What is family? And from what I have here,
Mm-hmm.
to define family broadly, you can realize that it is a protective factor for mental, physical, and spiritual well being. Family is home.
I like that.
Family is home where you can be at home, where you are vulnerable, and yet knowing that you are covered, you are protected. Even if within yourself there's bickerings and misunderstandings and sometimes even fighting, when a third party comes in, no matter what's going on, ideally family should cover each other.
Mm-hmm.
So the person coming in will know that, oh, they are together.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's not perfect, but it's perfect for them, for
Mm-hmm.
their specific dynamic. It talks about belonging. As it's a family gives you a place where you belong and you find your identity. That's family, okay? Family narratives shape self concepts and resilience. Who you are as a family, who you see yourself as the broad family. I carry my last name proudly because I know what it stands for. So,
Mhm.
yes, it has shaped my identity. Sometimes when I talk to my auntie, I have one of my dad's sisters lives in New Jersey, and he'll say, "As for us Amate, few girls, we are this and we are that and we are that." Okay, so it shapes your identity. The family narrative shapes your identity. Okay, attachment and safety is also is consistent care builds secure attachment. As we care for each other, as we know in practicality that we really are, they are looking out for me. I can run
Mhm.
back to them and I'll be secure. They won't bite my ears off. They won't bite my head off. It gives me a level of security, a sense of security. In psychology is called attachment security. There are different types of attachment, but it gives you a sense of security to
Mhm.
be yourself. Okay. All right. Anyway, Queen, I'll let you continue.
Good stuff. I was thinking when you were talking about good information. That's good. Great. Um, I was saying when you're talking about how, at the outsiders and third parties can't come in and mess with family. A lot of you know how it is. If you have siblings or, close family, cousins, and you all get to fighting, you all might come in and fight, you know, but nobody's going to come and mess with your brother or sister, why y'all,
Absolutely not.
so
Absolutely not. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's
Yeah.
definitely love. That's definitely
Yes.
love.
Yes.
Yes. The holidays are coming up. For those that celebrate, some of the holidays coming up. You have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you got, what do you got? You got Hanukkah, you've got Kwanzaa, I'm gonna try to throw them all in there for y'all. Uh, so y'all, yeah, whatever else is going on. But think about how often we get together for holidays. And so we talked about last week about money, how much money we spend. You should be sick. I get sick. I used to get sick when I spend so much money on Thanksgiving, all this money. And we over here, we tend to cook everything and might bring a little stuff here, sodas, or my son makes amazing deviled eggs. He always has to make those one. Yeah. So just certain things, but it's a lot of money spent for one day. And then we get together, we're all stuffed in this house like turkeys, but then we don't communicate after. It's few, far, and in between. You go to grandma's house and the whole family is there for Christmas, but we don't talk again after that. We haven't talked forever. So think about that. We reverence these holidays, but we kind of miss the importance of giving thanks to family in the form of gratitude by way of your expression, calling and checking on somebody. Nobody's asking for Christmas gifts and none of that. So just call and check on somebody. You're not invited to Thanksgiving. There might be a reason, but call and check on somebody. Don't be mad about it. You probably didn't want to go anyways. You know? So just do your due diligence. A lot I'm gonna let Queen Edith talk about all the ruckus going on in the world and why it is important to connect. But it is, and we have to get past old things. I don't think we should be disrupting the holidays for those that celebrate it with your nonsense and coming with that. Call somebody first before you show up at Thanksgiving, uh, non sober minded, and make a fool of yourself because something that happened last Thanksgiving that you didn't get to resolve.
Mm,
Okay,
mm, mm,
okay. So
mm.
let's think about that, Queen.
I'm going to continue what I'll say, and then we'll bring it all together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our behaviors too. Our behaviors. We share routines. We share. Every family has its culture, right? there's this family culture, and it includes the way we cook things. Okay, in some family, everybody will use their grandma's recipe for maybe the stuffing or the turkey, or their shared cultures. And
Mhm.
the faith we all may tend to be going to the same church. My grandfather was a staunch Methodist, and he was the choir leader, right? And all his daughters and some of his sons are in the choir, Methodist choir. All right. We had to go to Methodist, all of us. It's a
Mhm.
family culture, okay? And his children were also robing with him. Okay. So all those things, you realize that we share also some traits of some diseases, some sicknesses. Okay. Some diseases, you find them in the family line. That's why when you go to the hospital, they find out about your health history. Mom, dad, family member get, they want to know that, because there could be the possibility that if your mom had it, your grandma had it, maybe you would. So they find a way to nip it in the bud before it becomes a problem. So I want to ask our social media family, a question. Name one family routine that keeps you grounded, that keeps you connected. Family is also about connection. Family is also about connection. We all have the same grades. There's a connection there. We love each other. That's why when Queen said we come together for Thanksgiving, we spend all this time doing whatever it is we do, eating, cooking. It's not so much that the value of money is greater than the value of family. But at the end of it, we value the connection, and we don't want it to be only when we get together. We want it to connect throughout the year, throughout the time. But there's this thing that I want to talk about. The holiday season, like Queen says, that is coming up very quickly on us. A week, 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks, 2 Saturday from now, Thanksgiving will be over, right? We have one more Saturday before Thanksgiving, right? When
Yeah.
we get together in this day of cell phones, and so I've seen families visiting. I'm sure some of you have seen these pictures too, visiting mom or dad or grandma, but you're all sitting together. Yeah, you are not connecting. We are all on our phones. We are together, but we are all on our telephones or our cell phones.
Mhm.
Nobody says telephone anymore, right? We are
Mhm.
all on our cell phones. I want to talk about that. I also want to ask you a question. I asked you what one family routine that keeps you grounded. In your home, everyday living, what is one family tradition that brings all of you together at least a number of times a week? Maybe, yeah, a number of times a week. Like having a family dinner, like every Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon, you all get together and eat lunch or eat dinner. What are some of your family traditions? You all get together and watch some sports. Maybe Queen's husband went to IU, right? And IU is playing. Every time IU is playing, we all know that we're going to King Kevin's house. All the children, we are coming to King Kevin. IU is playing. We're coming to support our
Mhm.
uncle or our brother. What are your family traditions? Do you have one? And if you do, what is it? I want to know. Please share. If anybody's writing, we want you to share. But whilst you're doing that, one thing I've come to learn is that family is a system.
Mhm.
The family is a system. We are all systems in a greater system. Okay. And in plain language, in systems, there's the hero, there's the mediator, and there's the scapegoat rules. Spoken or unspoken. They are triangles. how stress, substances, and secrets shift roles. So when I say triangles, we all look up to somebody, first of all, as the hero of the family. I think that in your home, your husband is the hero of the family, right? In your extended family, maybe at this point, grandma is your mother is the queen mother. She is the, we all have a hero in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And their rules, some of them are spoken, some of them are unspoken. And what we may not know is that they are triangles. So you find out that, let's just say I'm part of Queen G's family. When something goes on, I'll call Quincy. Did you see what Uncle Peter did today? Did you see that? Did you see that? And then so there are three of us. It's called a triangle. With the three of us, this triangle, we talk, we click. We form these cliques. There's so many triangulations, so many cliques within the family as part of the system. Okay. Ah, yes, as part of the system. What systems go? What is your family system? What systems go on in your family? Who are you closest with? Who do you gossip about? Who don't you like? When family gatherings, you're getting ready to come together for Thanksgiving. Who are you dreading? Oh my God, Uncle Peter is coming. Oh man, listen, Angela invites me to her family dinners, whatever. Listen, Edith, my uncle, this uncle, his name is Peter. He likes every girl. Be careful. Be careful how you deal with him. So we begin to pinpoint and tell our friends so they know what to expect so we don't think less of their family. What are your traditions? Who are you closest to? Who do you gossip with? Who do you gossip about? And that's the scapegoat. Who is the person who is always the problem person in the family?
Mm-hmm.
Did
I
we
want to
get
say
this
this.
woman?
Yeah, I do want to say something really quickly. I want y'all to stop inviting Uncle Peter to these events. Okay? Stop inviting Uncle Gross Peter to these events and whispering about Uncle Peter and his inappropriate behavior. Nobody should be saying, keep your kids away from Uncle Peter because he's coming
Mm,
to Thanksgiving.
mm, mm.
Uncle
Oh,
Peter should not be at Thanksgiving. Okay? If y'all want to go to Uncle Peter's house, Uncle Peter should not be sitting at Thanksgiving with the family and the kids, the children. I'm going to say that.
Queen, you raised an important point, but there are Uncle Peters who we don't know.
Mm-hmm. But if you're whispering about him, somebody does know.
Yeah, I'm
See what I'm
talking about the
saying?
ones we don't know.
Mm.
The
Mm-hmm.
Nicodemus Peters. Let me give you a typical
Mm-hmm.
example. And once again, I'm going to put myself out there. Um, and I'm glad my parents are dead because to this day they don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
never said anything. To be honest, I didn't even understand it
Mm-hmm.
until maybe 15, 20 years. And I say this for all of you families. We have people we trust, and yet they have a hidden character traits that we haven't seen yet because we don't see them often and we are not close to people, other people who may be close to them. But this is what I'll say. When we were children, my parents entertained a lot, and they had a friend. Every time he'll come, he was nice and kind and gentle and good looking and all. Maybe I was 6, 7, 8, 9, very innocent, very pure. And this one will take me and put me on his lap and will do things to me. I'm not talking about the act
Mm-hmm.
of sex, but I'm talking about the different things
Mm-hmm.
around it. To a 7-year-old girl, sits the 7-year-old girl and rub her on your staff. We need to be careful that when our adults are around, I'm cautioning families, when adults are around, children go play with children.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come sitting on auntie's lap. Right now, you can see a girl sitting on a girl, a woman's lap is nothing. Right now, we cannot say that.
Mhm.
We can't. But because we don't see it. Right now, we can't. The way the world is going, women are abusing women.
Mhm.
Okay, women are abusing girls. Men are abusing boys. It's been long, it's been done long. However, the awareness is stronger now. So
Mhm.
when family is gathering, let children play in the open where all eyes are on all of them. So when one child is, we can find one child. Where is Edith? She was just here 5 minutes ago. Well, hey, Queen, go find Edith, wherever she's, bring her. We
Mhm.
need to be aware, Grand Rising Queen Cathy B. We need to be aware of what's going on. Okay, even if the child is alone, they grabbed mommy's phone and they're playing on the
Mhm.
phone. What are they watching? Because mommy's phone is not censored. This conversation is taking a different turn than I thought it would.
It always does, but it's a conversation to be had. So, hey.
Okay, so culturally, this is a very cultural thing because when I was growing up, I didn't have a room where I could lock the door and say, when mom is coming in, you should knock. She should knock. How dare you? How dare you? Your mom should knock. No, she's not knocking. How dare you? But it's a generational thing and it's a
Mhm.
cultural thing right now. There's the generational part because right now I haven't lived in Ghana for 20 years. I don't know how people are doing it right now.
Mhm.
But as a mother, I will not knock on your door unless you're above 22 years old, not 18.
Mhm.
I will not knock on your door. All right. What the children are doing in the room. They've taken mom's phone, dad's phone, playing with it. Recently, a colleague of mine, her son, somebody lured her son sexually. Her is a 12-year-old son. And it became a big deal. Almost kidnapped the boy. In fact, the boy was gone for 2 days. Reported to the police all through the internet, playing with mom's phone. So the thing is this, we need to keep an eye on the family. The value of the family and the close tightness of the family, we are taking a lot for granted in the season. Oh, he's in his room, he's playing. Probably playing video games. Through the video games, the people they're playing with, there are a lot of perverts online. So we can't follow culture so much and neglect our children. Okay. I think
Mhm.
this is taking a turn that I didn't plan. I'll let Queen continue.
No, no, no. Great, great conversation. As King
Hey,
Sean has
King.
said, welcome, 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 King. Okay, okay. Let's we can take it. We can back it back. Okay. But let's talk about parenting real quick because I wanted to show you all something. I don't know if you can see it on my screen. I'm gonna try to share it. And if you
Not
all
yet.
see me looking down and around, I'm trying to multitask between these phones. Make sure you all hit that like button, please, and thank you. And share if you've not. And then I'm typing, so if I'm looking crazy in the screen, my bad. I'm doing stuff. Okay, so here we go. I don't think you can see it really well, but I'll read it off to you. And I find this interesting, okay, because it's talking about types of parenting. Oh, hold on. And I wanted to bring up what Queen just said. So you might not be able to see it. It looks really small. But I'm gonna read it off, okay? So we have these are the different types of parenting, and I'm gonna share with y'all why this is just a lot for this new age style, okay? So we've got authoritative parenting, which is demanding and responsive. Okay, so go do this. Why? Because I guess authoritative parenting is strict and unresponsive. Go do this because because says so, or don't respond at all. I'm just speculating as I'm reading these. Permissive parenting is lenient and indulgent. Neglectful parenting, uninvolved and indifferent. Attachment parenting is secure bonding. Gentle parenting respects limits. Who respects limits? That's when your children start to tell you what to do. And you think it's cute when they're 3 and then they're 13 and they've been telling you no since they were 3. Anyhow, slow parenting is reduced stimulation. Free range parenting, encouraging independence. That's why your 13-year-old can stay out till midnight as long as there's a 16-year-old with the permit driving downtown, hanging out with a bunch of 19-year-olds. Side note, you've got elephant parenting, which is nurturing and protective. Dolphin parenting, balanced approach. Jellyfish parenting, relaxed rules. Tiger parenting, high achieving focus. Mindful parenting is intentional awareness. Toxic parenting is harmful and abusive. And then the last one is narcissistic parenting, which is self-centered control. Now, there are a few negative ones like the narcissistic and the toxic. Let's see, was there any other one? Those are the big ones. But when I was growing up, my point to sharing this with you all is when I was growing up, I'm sure, Queenie, if you could say the same thing, your parent was your parent, okay? Your elders are your elders.
Say
And
it
respect is
again.
respect. Your elders are your elders. And let me tell you something. If they were your elders when you was 5, they're still your elders at 15 and 25 and 35 and 55. They will always be your elders as long as they've lived beyond you. So beyond your years. So I don't understand all this extra, my mother, I was nurtured. I was well taken care of. You might get a response, you might not. But I tell you what, if you breathe in under your breath and talking crazy under your breath, it might look toxic, but it's saving your life. The shoe to the back of your head is so don't have to get up and lay praying hands on you. So all these different things we're doing, we have got to stop acting like our children. These children are our friends. There's a lack of guidance. There is a lack of discipline, which leads to a lack of support and accountability and growth in the youth. We have got to stop doing this. Why? I know we're a blended family, so I don't want my husband disciplining my children because they're not his children, but y'all are married. But you don't discipline. So now this man, this husband, this king, this leader is allowing you to raise children that are unruly. And when they don't respect him, they're not going to respect you as a mother. Do you see what you're setting up? All these weird things that we do to justify why we can't parent these children. I don't want to say our children, these children. Because I remember the days, and I'm going to stop here. I remember the days when if I got in trouble, if I'm in trouble, the neighbor is calling. Now, I didn't have neighbors that, would physically discipline or, my husband would tell you growing up, he's some years older. But, if Mr. whoever next door caught you, he might give you a tap on the butt and send you home and tell your mama, and it's going to go, so, but if I got in trouble, and it was found out, there's a phone call. The neighbor's calling. I see her doing this. I saw her doing that. Mom's coming. Now I got to wait. I think I told you all this before. Now I got to wait a few days for mine to come. You all have seen my Queen Eye Gloria Carter on here. Got to wait for her to come. My grandma's coming after service. I didn't got in trouble Monday. Here comes next Sunday after service. I'm in trouble for something I did on Monday. But if I say something to your child, hey, Queen, Edith, get your son. He out here cursing and carrying on. Not my baby, not my son. Nah, that must be your kid. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
When we play, we do something wrong, and we see any elder coming, we stand at attention. That's the community I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say because your mom is not there,
Mm-hmm.
no other parent, you will disregard any parent. It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true at all. Nope. Nope. And the question is this. Queen, you raised a very important point. Parents are becoming their friends. You see, we are, I don't want to use the word pacify, but we are trying to make up for where we can't be, for where we
Mm-hmm.
lack.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of making up, we become laxed or too relaxed. We become too relaxed, and children tend to have their way. And children will always push the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they will try to push the boundaries. The more you let them, the further they will push your boundaries. So if you are not solid as a parent, we're talking about parents and we're not talking about family, but I guess it's part of it, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because our children wind up having their own families. This is a generational. This is a everybody thing. Yeah, it ties in. Go ahead.
So the thing is this: if you are not firm in the boundaries you've created, you end up becoming a loose mother or a loose father.
Mm-hmm.
Your children will end up having their way, and they know they will have their way. So now they've become responsible adults, and they are at work or they are in places where the rules are firm. They are
Mm-hmm.
not having their way anymore. Why are we teaching our children to have their way anyway? You see, the different styles of parenting, I can see where every style, or almost every style, some of them are really wrong, but almost every style will fit a certain age category. The way I'll talk to a toddler will not be the way I will address a situation with a teenage girl. As a parent, I have to have a way to talk to my teenage girl and appeal to her senses, but let her also know for as long as they live under my roof, these behaviors will not be tolerated.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Right? But
absolutely.
our children are doing whatever they want under that roof.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us, as parents, children will eat, leave the dishes in the sink.
Mm-hmm.
You come home from work, the house is a mess. You will come home and clean. You will come home and do the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why? What family values are we instilling in these children? What are they going to go away with from our homes? As a child, I think I've said it. As a child, I did not like my mother because she was so strict and rigid. Like, it drove me crazy. But as a mother, she became my best friend. When I became a mother, my mother became my best friend. I started appreciating the things I did not appreciate about her when I was younger. Will your children say the same thing? Or you live to please your children as a parent?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh earlier while you were talking. For all y'all watching me, I was not laughing at what Queen G or Queen Edith was saying. I was reading Queen Kathy's comment, and I'm laughing because I think a lot of our children are saying that, and it's funny because it's not. It's really not, because once you realize that you don't know anything and that you have no concept of the sacrifice and the duty and the responsibility as parents,
Mm.
that there are no finite answers. There are no certainties. It's always going to be trial and error. And we all have shortcomings or things we could have done different, just being unaware. But it just tickles my fancy when I hear this. And it doesn't mean that our youth are not good parents. It's just that woe is the day when you realize, darn, I should have. Now that makes sense. I should have just went ahead and listened. And it probably would have cost me a lot less heartache and irritation because they'll call you when they get to acting up and they say stuff like that. They'll call you, Mama, what am I supposed to do with him? What am I supposed to do with her? No, just do what you do. This is what I would do, but you don't want to hear that. So I find it very interesting that, yeah, that was, yeah. Well, yeah. And you pray for them and you wish the best for them. You don't. My dad used to say that, oh, I can't wait till you have your own children so you can see. I'm like, well, I didn't think I was that bad, but why you wish that? Why you wish that? I do that. So, yeah, think about that. Lordy.
Parenting is it's a big sacrifice, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge sacrifice. That's why we need to. That's a long thing. So anyway, people can read it on there, but what I'm saying is this: it's a huge sacrifice. But the key is that we need to be a parent when the children are old, so we can teach them they will give them the foundations they need to become responsible adults. When we don't do that when they are young, what happens is that when they become older, then they become even a greater liability.
Mm-hmm.
They become a greater liability.
Mm-hmm.
I have one child. I have one child. Now tell that most of his life he was raised by my mother. And like me, growing up, he did not appreciate my mother. And even sometimes I thought my mother was too strict. The world has changed, blah, 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 blah. My mother passed on. I mean, he's in his 20s now. My mother passed on 5 years ago. And this young man has become more responsible than I thought he was. He became a younger version of me and better version of me. Because guess what? If I raised him alone, I would have spoiled the boy because he's the only son. And that's the thing. And then today, I will have problems because he's an adult and he's not responsible. Because, mom, that's what we do. We do everything for our children. You
Mm-hmm.
clean their room. No, we are not raising our children well. We need to be careful what family values we are instilling in them. And this is what I want to say. As a caregiver who's worked in home care before I ever became an entrepreneur in this industry, I worked with families. And I saw families visit grandma or grandpa during the holidays. And they don't engage. They are there, their presence is there, but even in being present, they were absent. I watch grandma sit down watch his grandchildren and their mothers or their parents on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
totally ignoring the very person they came to visit, totally ignoring them. And mom and dad are not saying anything. It's okay with them. There are things grandma can teach your children that you will never be able to teach. There's history grandma has that she can give to these children but because they are not talking to her, she's just some old woman. Though she's grandma, she's still some old woman who doesn't know the world. It's our world now. What they know is a cake. It's not needed. That's a big mistake.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a very big mistake, and it's a big lie. It's a big lie. Our children are losing out because some wisdom is not passing down just because they want to do whatever they want. Why will you visit me if you will not have a conversation with me? If you will not make me feel like you probably visit me 3 times a year. And you can put the phone down for that 30-minute visit. And the parents are okay. And I know I'm repeating myself like a broken record.
Mm-mm.
But it's not okay. It's not okay. Where is the family value anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Queen, I learned.
You know, you said something earlier. You asked the question earlier. When you hear family, what first comes to mind? And the example that you just gave is a sense of duty and obligation. You have to go see mom and senior care, and Mother's Day and on Sundays after church, you have to run by and bring, supplies and drop them off because you're busy. So a lot of times when it comes to that aspect, what you just mentioned, and of course, I've seen it. You didn't raise your children around their grandparents. You could tell. Have you all seen those little shorts where the babies are with the grandparent and then it's time to go and them grandbabies are crying. They want to stay with Papa. They want to stay with Gigi, because it's that bond when they're young. You're sitting there talking with the children. You're spending time. You're showing when we're going to Thanksgiving at grandma's that we're off the phone, that we're communicating, and the conversation at the table with all the children, with all the family, is engaging. It's appropriate. We're talking about family, but let me tell you about what your grandmother used to do. When we were younger, we had to walk 5 miles in the snow. Y'all know them old stories. I'm not knocking it because somebody has real stories. So I'm not making fun, yeah. But those are the stories, and now your child is saying, walk in the snow. Who does that? Where were the buses? And now we're having a conversation about situations with buses and transportation and different other things, schooling, different, how education's different. It's starting and bridging a conversation that leads to wanting to know more. But it starts with a parent um engaging them in that. I miss my grandbaby. She's 15 now. She's out of state, but she's supposed to be coming for the holidays, and I'm super excited about it. And I thought about the other day, and my king and I talked about it, and I was trying to take my vacation time around her, but things were just kind of I was still up in the air, I guess. And so I went and took my vacation time, but just planning around that, it's a big deal to me because we don't get to see her like that. We don't get to see her, for all the holidays. She's only a couple hours away. It's not that far, but we didn't. And she calls all the time. She'll call her papa before she call anybody. But we didn't get to raise her like that as a baby. So it's a difference. So we try to get that in when we can, because it does mean something, because we want to instill those stories. And when we get together, we talk about, your daddy used to do this, your auntie used, and we share those stories. So that's just something to think about. Yes. Go ahead, Queen.
King Roadster says that's a major that has to break it. Yeah, yeah, Queen, that's rough. But yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Family, when you think about family, family values, the word family, some of the things that come to mind. Okay, Queen, you said something about duty and responsibility. It's all part of the family. It's all part of the family story. It's
Mhm.
so important. There's something, every family is peculiar. And one of the things I want to talk about is language.
Mhm.
Every family has a language. In my family, the language was my mother's eyes. You look into my mother's eyes, you know what she's saying, straight up. But there is a language we all need to know, that when this goes on, or maybe nobody or somebody says something, it's a word that everybody understands, but to this family it means something different. And as we raise our children around our friends and their aunties and their cousins and all of that stuff, what is the language we are giving them? It's okay to gossip about that auntie in front of your children. Listen, let's be careful what we are doing. Children are a gift.
Mm-hmm.
When I had my son, my father said to me, children are a gift. Yes, the issue of language. Children are a gift, okay? They are on a gift on loan to you from whoever gave them to you. And trust me, it's not because you and daddy or you and mommy, came together intimately. That's why a child came. That you came together and the child was brought in as a gift. There are no coincidences in life. The child comes with an assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Our job is to raise the child in a way so that they will discover what their assignment is. And one of the languages we give to our children is you do what I do. We never take the time to get to know these children for their assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So a 2 year or a 3 year old is playing with this toy, likes to break the car down and try to fix it. What do we see? What do we see in them? And when they grow up and they're straying from that passion they grew up with, they brought into the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point they lose the sense of who they are. Okay, and we said that one of the things that family does is give you identity. What identity are we giving our children in our homes?
Mm-hmm.
They came with something. Are we nurturing it?
Mm-hmm.
Are we pushing them into all directions? I've heard a parent say that I want my children to choose their own religion. True. But until they get to that age, my religion is their religion. So, what is the language in the house? The language is that we can do whatever we want to do. We can push mom's boundaries, we can push dad's boundaries, and there's nothing they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is that the language between husband and wife, I'm telling you, children, they are impacting children. I don't want to say this, but if you're in a marriage and the relationship is so toxic
Mm-hmm.
and the children are watching, you are not doing your children a favor saying, I'm staying because of the children. No,
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen a lot in the work that I do. Some some now adults are where they are because of what they saw in their parents, and they haven't had a chance to process it. So, what language are we coming? It's also okay to be miserable and mean and let daddy abuse you or let mommy abuse you and all of that for the sake of the children. Family is supposed to be a safe space. That's why I said family is home. It is safe where I can be myself, not be judged. Is that what it is at home? Listen, if you are married and your marriage is toxic, it's destroying you, and you're staying for just because of the children, I want to talk to you. I really do want to talk to you because you're not doing anybody a good service.
Mm-hmm.
People say God hates divorce. It's true. But God loves you more than he hates divorce. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not advocating divorce. But there are some circumstances you're being beaten, your life is at risk. No. Your children deserve better than that kind of
Mm-hmm.
environment. So let's be careful. We've had children with somebody. They are our husbands, or we are living together, or whatever it is. But that relationship is so unhealthy. Remember that it's an environment your children are growing in, and they are watching what you are not saying. They're reading in between the lines of what you are saying. Children are perceptive. Let's not do our own things and blame it on God.
Mhm.
There's a reason we've been given wisdom or knowledge. Applied knowledge, properly applied knowledge is wisdom. So when we talk about family values, what is your family value based on? What are the principles upon which your values came to be? Who are you in the family? How safe do you feel at home? Your children, are they growing up in an healthy environment? Family. Some families are toxic. They are biological. They are toxic. You can love people from a distance, but you need to have those boundaries for your home, for your family, and do whatever it takes to make sure that the future generation coming out of you are protected, they're safe, and they feel secure enough to go out and build healthy lives themselves. This is definitely a mixing pot. This family thing is a mixing pot. Marriage has come in, parenting has come in, relationships have come in, boundaries have come in, environment has come in. All of that make family. So family is a huge thing. And we've mixed everything up and brought it to you. But if we're going to take it a bit at a time, talk about the relationship between husband and wife and its impact on the children, how it affects the atmosphere of the home. And we blame it on God. What are your family values? And on what foundation is the values based on? I hold my peace.
Great conversation as always. So much to dive into. What do you all think? I tell you what, we've got a group of people in the digital building. Put in one if you've enjoyed this conversation. If
This
you
is
didn't,
Speak
you can put
Well
it
this
too.
hour, right? It's the
Yeah.
wholeness of the
Yes.
person, right? It's the wholeness. We talk about the people holistically, life holistically. So it includes
Yes.
everything. And maybe we'll break down the thing on marriage because my passion is marriage.
Absolutely.
Marriage and family. I'm an MFT. My passion is marriage. And the family begins with the man and the woman, in my opinion, and whoever their higher power is. For me, it's God, the creator and the possessor of the heavens and the earth, the one who instituted marriage, who instituted family. Family is husband and wife first, before children. So when we are not getting it as a couple, when we can't talk as adults and come to a safe, healthy compromise, then what family are we building and what are we bringing children into? Because we become our environment. Am I wrong? That's what we say. We are products of our environment. And sometimes we think the environment is I grew up in Fishes, Indiana. So no, it's the home environment. A lot of men are looking for wives, but they are not husbands. They don't want to be husbands. They want to have a woman at home they call wife and do and be able and yet be able to go out and live like there is nothing at home. And the same with some women. We just want to have a ring on our finger and be excited about it. But we don't want to be the wife that is needed at home. So there are a lot of dynamics in this thing called family. Where is the origin? What is the origin of family? This is how this thing should have begun. We started from the bottom. What is the origin of the family? The person who created it. Because if whatever car we buy, the person who manufactured the car had a look in mind, had that image. They drew. We want the roof to be like this. We want the lighting to do like. It's all planned out. And then they begin to build. So whoever brought up and created family, what was the image? And is that the image that your family is based on? Or it's on you're building your family on your mistakes? In other words, you're making so many mistakes and you're raising children out of fear. No. Before you get married, even, what do you have in mind for a family structure? What is a no?
Mhm.
It's something we cannot take for granted because our society is built on family. Our nation is built on family. When the family gets it wrong, children go wayward. They do whatever they like. They are seduced or influenced by all the wrong voices, wrong people. And these are the people who end up becoming our leaders. What kind of leaders are they becoming? So the family is the foundation of our country, of our state, of our community. The family is the foundation. And if we're going to do this family thing well, do it, then we must figure out the origin, what the plan is, so that we can follow that roadmap into building strong and healthy families.
There you go. King Sean says, is it healthy to set aside family day on a weekly basis? I want to respond to that because as you were talking, Queen, we've talked about a whole lot of serious things, important things that we have to dive into, that we have to acknowledge in the community of humanity that are going on, and ways to grow and evolve from those things. To be able to have that knowledge and that wisdom and understanding. So I'm going to leave with this. Yes to your question, King Shine. Yeah, I think it's a great idea to have just some kind of connection. Queen Edith and I tried to get together yesterday evening, but my son had come over and it had been about a week since we'd seen him. But the kids will just pop up. We'll just okay. Well, dinner. Supper changes. Uh, Now we're doing something for everybody. And we just hang out. We do card games. Just sit around and chit chat. The TV might be on, but nobody's watching it, and I just want to turn it off because my electricity bill. But nobody's watching it. You see, it's there, but we're attentive to one another, and so that is so nice. Have fun, just have fun. Enjoy raising your children, and it is challenging to be this amazing parent, to be this amazing spouse, this amazing partner. Value by your family. You're busy working all the time. You're overwhelmed. This is going on, that's going on. When you stop and take a break, don't be complaining about why you're so busy and you don't have family time. Just enjoy the time you have, because we don't get to, it's only short lived. Our children are going to grow up. They're going to have
Yeah,
their own children. They'll
yeah,
come in few far and in between. You'll be
yeah,
waiting for a call. No, I didn't call him. My youngest son, my husband's been on him for about 3-4 days now about his location. He got a new phone. So he's like, I want your location. I want your location. He's like, yeah, okay. He's 20. He's such a lovely young man. But I told my husband, I said, you tell him that he ain't grown. I said,
ah,
as long as he's my baby, he ain't grown to me. So give me that location. But we have to respect him as a young adult male, you know, um, and have fun with them while he's still hanging around. So enjoy the moments that you have with your families. If there is strife, talk about it, write it down, go outside, put your pillow in the face, scream, and just release it. Is it that serious? Let's enjoy our families, give brawls and celebrate the holiday season and beyond. There is no reason to have um, specific days and momentums to celebrate one another. So call somebody now, y'all. When y'all get off of here, y'all spend what, an hour and 6 minutes with us. We'll say hour and 10 because Queen Eve's gonna take us out. But you spent all this time with us, and we appreciate it. We love you all for it. But since you spent a little over an hour with us, call somebody. Don't care how family they are, blood, you know, friend, colleague, call somebody from church, somebody from school, call them and check on them and tell them you love them. And I get it. If you spend an hour with us, you probably don't want to call, you know, that uncle, that aunt's gonna be on the phone for 2 hours with you, telling you about everything, you know. I know, and I call my dad. I know I'm gonna set an appointment. I had nothing else to do because we're gonna talk for about 2 hours. So I had to set my time. So if you got a moment, just call somebody, tell them you love them, check on them. If they talk too long, just text them. Say, hey, I'm just checking on you. And I'll land my plane there. Queen, you want to take us out?
Friends and family. In talking about family, I would applaud the family of Queen G.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about her biological family. From day one. I don't know what goes on inside, but from day one, it doesn't even matter when we show up late, they're here. So, this is something that is beautiful. And I appreciate and I notice it. It doesn't matter what we are talking about, they're still here. It really doesn't matter. So to the family of Queen G, Queen Kathy, Queen Mother Randa, all of you, thank you. Thank you for being my social media family. Indeed, you have been my family. You do it. I'm sure if I end up coming here alone, you will still come and support me because it's our baby together. So thank you so much. I take this opportunity to Queen G and King Sean. We've become another kind of family as well. You know, we check on each other. This past week or two, King Sean lost his brother, and we know that he's going through a very difficult time. You've been in my prayers. I've been thinking about you, and I know that there's a lot going on, but you are in our hearts, and you continue to be in our hearts. So, King Sean, we know we say, I say cry when you need to cry. But after all is said and done, arise and keep moving on. Okay, friends, and I appreciate my own biological family as well. They've not been here socially as I would love them to. But somewhere in the background, they've always supported me. My sister will not go a day without picking up the phone to call and check on me. That is family because all we have is each other. Both our parents are gone. So I say this to say family is sacred. There is a reason we are all born into families. There's an assignment we have to our family. Figure out yours and learn to love. Family, the families we are born in, we learn to love unconditionally because there's somebody we just can't stand. Sometimes it's just your sister, your own sister. Sometimes it's a cousin. Sometimes it's an auntie. Family is sacred, but it teaches us to love unconditionally because we're born into them and we are required to love them. We don't have to be friends with our family, but we can love them. We are required to love them. It's a gift to be given the opportunity to raise children and to raise family. It's a gift to be partnered up, husband and wife, because there are people who are raising children who are not who don't have a husband or a wife. But if you're blessed to partner up, team up, team up, because at the end of the day, it's the benefit of not just your family, but society as a whole. So, this conversation is a starter. It's the holiday season. Invite some families around, and there are some people around you who don't have families.
Mm.
Reach out to someone and share a meal together. After all, that's what love is. Love is family. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being family. Until we meet again next week, have an amazing week. This is Peak Wellness Hour. Keep sharing, keep liking, keep sharing our links with your friends and family. We will keep doing better too. Thank you. God bless you. Have an amazing week.
Peace, love, and blessings until next time. Thank you. And we love you.